Behold the vibrant fruits of nature, seemingly innocent, glistening in the morning dew. From the succulent mango to the humble berry, these colourful enticements have long held a place of honour in our diets. But hidden within these tempting morsels lies a venomous sugar, fructose, a silent saboteur of your health, lurking beneath a vibrant exterior. Yes, fructose. The very word conjures images of juicy watermelons and baskets overflowing with ripe berries. But this, my friends, is a deception of the highest order. Today, we embark on a journey to unveil the dark truth about fructose. We will expose why natural sugars aren't as benign as they appear, and why the carnivore diet might just be your saving grace. So sit tight, dear viewer. Put down that fruit salad and grab a hearty cut of steak. We are about to dissect this fruity fiasco and expose the truth about nature's sweet poison. Fruit. The darling of every balanced diet advocate. We are told to embrace the sweetness of mangoes and berries. But is fruit sugar, this fructose, truly the panacea it's made out to be? Fructose is metabolized entirely in the liver, and the liver, my friends, has its limits. Excessive fructose consumption overwhelms this vital organ. Fatty liver disease, insulin resistance, and elevated triglycerides. Fructose is swiftly converted into fat. Even in natural doses, fruit sugar is far from benign. So, yes, that fruit smoothie, your liver is waving a little white flag. Imagine, if you will, the liver, a diligent worker bee, tirelessly filtering toxins and processing nutrients. Now picture this industrious organ bombarded by a relentless deluge of fructose. It's akin to forcing a lone street sweeper to clear up after a ticker tape parade. The poor liver, overwhelmed by this sugary onslaught, struggles to keep up. Fat begins to accumulate like unsorted mail piling up in a forgotten corner. This accumulation, known as fatty liver disease, is the first sign that fructose has overstayed its welcome. But the damage doesn't stop there. Insulin resistance, a condition where your cells become deaf to the pleas of insulin, soon follows. And as insulin is the key that unlocks our cells to allow glucose to enter, this resistance leads to a dangerous buildup of sugar in the bloodstream. The result? A metabolic maelstrom that leaves your body in a state of disarray. And all thanks to that seemingly innocent bowl of fruit salad. Dr. Paul Saladino praises fruit and honey as evolutionary treasures, but is he correct, or has he dipped too much into the honey jar? HbA1c measures glucose, not fructose. Fructose wreaks havoc through a different pathway. It's like judging a car's health by its paint job while the engine's on fire. While fructose might evade the watchful eye of the HbA1c test, its fingerprints are all over another culprit, advanced glycation end products, or AGEs for short. These nasty little compounds, formed when sugars react with proteins, are the true villains of the aging process. And fructose, much like a mischievous gremlin, is a master of age formation. It accelerates the production of these harmful compounds independently of glucose, leading to a cascade of inflammation and cellular damage, wrinkles, stiff joints, and an increased risk of chronic diseases. These are but a few entries on the extensive rap sheet of AGEs. Saladino's error? He fixates on one marker, HbA1c, while ignoring the broader metabolic chaos that fructose creates. He's blinded by the honey-coated promises of fruit, failing to see the sticky web of metabolic dysfunction it weaves. It's a classic case of missing the forest for the trees, or perhaps the orchard for the rotten apples. Deep within our cells, a battle for dominance is waged. This is the Randle cycle, balancing glucose and fats. Each seeks to fuel our cells. A balanced diet keeps this cycle efficient. Glucose burns for energy, fats are stored. Fructose disrupts this balance. Imagine workers processing glucose. Suddenly, a flood of fructose arrives. Workers prioritize fructose, fats accumulate. This is the crux of the issue. Fructose sidelines fat oxidation. This leads to metabolic disturbances. Consider the implications of a diet rich in fats and sugars. A slice of cake, a seemingly innocent treat. Within its layers lies a metabolic time bomb. Fat and sugar, especially fructose, create metabolic mayhem. The Randle cycle struggles with fructose overload. Fat oxidation halts, fat storage increases. Think of Gordon Ramsay in a chaotic kitchen. One will dominate, ending badly. The result? A recipe for disaster. Understanding the Randle cycle is crucial. Not all calories are equal. The type of calories matters. But fear not, for amidst this sea of sugary deception lies an ancient dietary approach, one that harks back to our primal roots, the carnivore diet. A world devoid of fructose's metabolic meddling, where meat in all its glory reigns supreme. Imagine, if you will, a world where blood sugar remains stable, where the liver, relieved from its fructose-induced burden, hums with quiet efficiency. This, my friends, is the promise of the carnivore diet, a way of eating that prioritizes nutrient density over sugary indulgence. Steak, that king of the carnivore table, provides a bounty of bioavailable nutrients. Heme iron, readily absorbed and utilized by our bodies, vitamin B12, essential for nerve function and energy production, and zinc, a mineral crucial for immunity and cell growth. And let's not forget the sheer satisfaction of a juicy ribeye, cooked to perfection. The carnivore diet is not about deprivation, but rather a celebration of nature's bounty, a return to a way of eating that nourished our ancestors for millennia. Unlike its sugary counterparts, steak and eggs, those stalwarts of the carnivore diet deliver their nutritional payload without the metabolic baggage. No blood sugar spikes, no fatty liver anxieties, just pure, unadulterated nourishment. Remember that stressed-out liver drowning in a sea of fructose? Well, on a carnivore diet, that liver gets to take a well-deserved vacation. No more frantic processing, no more desperate cries for help, just a serene existence dedicated to its essential functions. And let's be honest, when was the last time a ribeye made your liver cry for mercy? The carnivore diet is not about demonizing fruit, but rather recognizing that excessive fructose consumption, even from natural sources, can have detrimental effects on our metabolic health. So, embrace the carnivore way, a path that leads away from the sugary abyss and towards a world of metabolic harmony. A world where our bodies thrive on the nutrient-dense bounty of meat, not the fleeting pleasure of fructose. Now, you might be tempted to think, but David, these sugars are found in nature. Surely Mother Nature wouldn't steer us wrong. But nature, my friends, operates on a different timeline, a different set of rules than our modern world. Consider the wild fruits of our ancestors, small, bitter, and a far cry from the plump, sugary delights we find on supermarket shelves today. These fruits, consumed sparingly and seasonally, provided a meagre source of energy, a stark contrast to the fructose bombs we readily devour today. Through selective breeding, we've transformed these humble fruits into sugar-laden behemoths, their sweetness amplified, their nutritional value diluted. Consuming a bowl of modern fruit is akin to guzzling a soda, albeit one with a natural halo, but let's not be fooled by this veneer of wholesomeness. Fructose, regardless of its source, remains fructose. Its metabolic effects, its potential to disrupt our delicate hormonal balance, remain unchanged. The natural fallacy. This belief that anything found in nature is inherently good for us ignores a fundamental truth. We are no longer living in the same environment as our hunter-gatherer ancestors. Our bodies, finely tuned over millennia to thrive on a diet of meat, fibrous plants and the occasional hard-earned piece of fruit, are now bombarded with a constant influx of sugar, particularly fructose, in quantities our ancestors could scarcely have imagined. This mismatch, this disconnect between our evolutionary programming and our modern dietary habits lies at the heart of many chronic diseases plaguing our society. Obesity, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, all have been linked to excessive fructose consumption. So, let us approach this natural label with a healthy dose of skepticism. For nature, while a source of wonder and abundance, can also be a master of deception, especially when it comes to the seductive sweetness of fruit. In the relentless theatre of nature, survival is a game of cunning adaptations. And fructose, my friends, plays a rather curious role. You see, in the animal kingdom, fructose serves a singular purpose: to fatten creatures for hibernation or migration. Bears gorging on berries before winter, birds feasting on fruit before long flights. Fructose fuels their extraordinary feats of endurance. Humans, however, have no such excuse. We are not preparing for long winters or arduous migrations. Yet we consume fructose in quantities that would make even the most gluttonous grizzly blush. Our modern diets, awash in sugary drinks, processed foods, and yes, even excessive fruit, deliver a constant deluge of fructose, far exceeding any evolutionary justification. This, my friends, is where the trouble begins. Our bodies, you see, were not designed for this relentless fructose onslaught. Unlike glucose, the primary sugar our cells use for energy, fructose is metabolized almost entirely in the liver, and the liver, hard-working organ that it is, can only handle so much before it cries out for mercy. The consequences of this fructose overload are far from benign. Fructose wreaks havoc on our metabolic machinery, leading to health woes. One major concern is fatty liver disease, impairing liver function. Once rare, it's now alarmingly common, affecting millions. But the damage doesn't stop there. Fructose disrupts insulin sensitivity, leading to type 2 diabetes. It also increases uric acid, causing gout. Fructose disrupts metabolism, taxes organs, and undermines health. And so, my friends, we arrive at the undeniable truth about fructose. It is a wolf in sheep's clothing, a sweet poison dressed in nature's finest attire. While fruits, in their natural and moderate consumption, might hold a place in some diets, the sheer abundance of fructose in our modern world demands a cautious approach. For those seeking optimal health, for those who aspire to not just survive but thrive, the message is clear. Ditch the sugary drinks, minimize processed foods, and be mindful of even seemingly benign sources of fructose. Your liver, your waistline, and your overall well-being will thank you. If you're ready to take control of your health and break free from the clutches of fructose, there is a path forward. A path that harks back to our ancestral roots, a path that prioritizes nutrient-dense whole foods, a path that eliminates the dietary chaos of excessive sugar. That path, my friends, is the carnivore diet. Meat, glorious meat. A cornerstone of human evolution, a source of readily available protein, essential fats, and a treasure trove of vitamins and minerals. On a carnivore diet, you fuel your body with the nutrients it craves without the metabolic mayhem of fructose. So join me, won't you, on this journey towards optimal health and vitality? Like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more myth-busting carnivore content. And for personalized guidance on your carnivore journey, visit compositionconsultant.com. Together, we'll cut through the dietary dogma and serve up the sizzling truth. As we conclude our exploration of fructose's deceptive nature, let us remember this: knowledge is power. By understanding the impact of our dietary choices, we empower ourselves to make informed decisions that support our health and well-being. So, the next time someone offers you a fruit salad, do the polite thing. Smile, nod and say, "Not today, love. I've got steak waiting at home."
Check out my site at compositionconsultant.com, where your journey to peak performance and optimal health begins. With a degree in human nutrition and over 15 years of training experience, I've guided more than 400 carnivores to not just meet, but exceed their physique and performance goals. Through personalised consultations, comprehensive ebooks and dedicated coaching, I'm here to ensure your success. Join the ranks of those who have transformed their lives. It's time to align your physique goals with positive health outcomes. Visit compositionconsultant.com today and take the first step towards the best version of you. Build muscle and lose fat on the carnivore diet.